Peace and blessings is real. First and foremost, I want to take this time and give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh through His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, for allowing this word to come out. And I hope you sincere brothers and sisters is edified by this word. And the name of the word tonight is going to be called Sometimes in Life, when you suffer a loss, you really triumph in victory. Let me say it again, man. The name of the word tonight is going to be Sometimes in life, you suffer a loss. When you suffer a loss, you really triumph in victory. I want you to pause for a minute and really think about the name of this word. This is going to be a very sobering word, and it's going to also be a comforting word for those that feel as though they can't win for losing. You're going to find out in this word tonight that sometimes when you suffer a loss, you really triumph in victory, man. What you see on the screen is the champions of the NBA 2021 NBA champions, the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay? You have Giannis as the Greek freak getting the finals of the MVP. But what you see is a team celebrating a win, celebrating a victory. You see? And what you're going to find out in this word, even when you suffer a loss, you can still triumph, just like the Milwaukee Bucks did, winning the championship this year. You see, life is about wins and losses. And people live for these wins and losses. Okay, it's our competitive human nature. Okay, when it comes to wins and losses, especially wins. We all live for victories. We all compete to win. Even from our youthful days to adulthood, when we play sports, when you play cards, kickball, adult kickball, game shows, debates. There's a whole lot of different examples and other different areas of competitiveness that we participate in with the common goal of getting the win. Nobody wants to lose. But like I say, wins and losses doesn't just apply to sports, playing cards, kickball, game shows, debates, and a whole lot of other different situations. Wins and losses doesn't just apply to that. But life itself is about wins and losses, man. It applies to our life. And sometimes in life, a loss is really a win. And let me just say this, okay? It's absolutely okay to suffer a loss, because a huge victory, a huge win is on the rise, baby. Believe that. Believe that. It's okay to suffer a loss, man. It's not the end of the world. You see? And what inspired this word is that I had to think about it, man. Like, I had to look at ever since I was a little kid all the way up until now. I analyzed. I mean, I played sports, and honestly, and I'm not, and I don't mean to brag and boast, but I had a very, very successful athletic career in the area of basketball and track and field. And from grade school to middle school, I won championships in basketball. I just didn't get it in high school. But whenever I played, man, I was pretty successful, man. And even in track and field, losing, I didn't know what losing was. But I realized even in life, man, you get victories and you suffer losses as well. And it's the losses that I want to speak about, because nobody wants to lose. So when you lose, it feel like your whole world has crashed. But I'm going to show you in this word today, man, that suffering a loss, you get a victory, man. And I know a lot of us out there is catching a lot of L's, catching a lot of losses. And like I said, a lot of us out there right now going through that, I can't win for losing. But today, man, you're going to find out that sometimes in life when you suffer a loss, you really triumph in victory, man. In Proverbs 24, verse 17 and 18, man, and I'm just going to really paraphrase what it speaks of. But it says, don't rejoice when your enemy fall. Okay? In other words, don't be happy. Why? Because the Lord does not like that, and his anger is going to come your way. You see? So right there, man, you're taught when someone suffer a loss, hey, dude, don't be happy for them. You see? Because guess why, man? All losses ain't losses, baby. You got to look deeper into things. You clowning and laughing at somebody that suffered a loss, not even understanding, man, you need to be humble. You see? Because if you really look deep into a situation, you'll realize, like, wait a minute. The scoreboard say I lost, but when you analyze everything, I really won. And that's what I want to teach you in this word tonight. Last year when COVID first hit, around February, March 2020, I was riding high on my job. I have two jobs. I had two jobs. I was a full-time water sales rep, bottled water sales rep, and a part-time merchandiser. So I worked every single day, Monday through Sunday. I worked both jobs. And my primary job was my highest paying job I ever made that was not commission based, but just hourly based, salary and commission based, Well, let me just say this. It was the highest paying job that I had up to date. I was making $60,000 a year. And I ended up losing that job because when COVID hit, the essential businesses, which was my bread and butter customers, those businesses were closed. And it took such a hit on the sales force of the company that they just laid us off. And they had to a whole year to bring us back, which would have brought us into April, May of this year. April, May of this year came, and I was not called back. So in essence, I suffered a loss when it came to my full-time job. That goes $60,000 down the drain that I lost. So a lot of people will look at that like a loss. And it is a loss when you look at it from that perspective. But then you have to say to yourself, because I said to myself, at first, I was down a little bit when I realized that, man, I lost my $60,000 a year job, full-time, first primary job. So initially, it was like, damn, it was like a loss. But then when I analyzed it, I realized it was really a win for me because what I was able to gain was peace and being stress-free, which made it priceless, you see? Because even though I lost the job, it was no more dealing with the scrutiny. It was no more prejudice I had to deal with. No more of these crazy demands. No more rude customers. I didn't have to deal with none of that. I didn't have to go home stressed from a long, hard days of work. See? So when I realized I was at peace and I was stress-free, and when I realized you couldn't put a price on that, I realized, yeah, I suffered a loss, but I really won. You dig? Cold-blooded, you see? So when you look at it from that perspective, is a loss really a loss? Not really. Sometimes in life, when you suffer a loss, you really triumph in victory, man. Now, in the game of life, there's wins and losses. When it comes to marriages and relationships, you suffer wins and losses. In the business world, if you're a business owner, you suffer wins and losses. If you're an employee, a worker, or in corporate America, you suffer wins and losses. With your family and friendships, you suffer losses. All walks of life, man, you suffer losses. When you dealing with your enemies, you might suffer a loss. And speaking of enemies, we just told you in Proverbs 24:17 and 18, don't rejoice when your enemy fall. Don't be happy, man. The Lord does not like it. And his anger will come your way. You see? And another thing too, man, lawsuits. You suffer wins and losses in lawsuits. If you lose a lawsuit, you have to say to yourself, damn, did I really lose, when you analyze the picture, the big picture? In your relationship, you suffer a loss, but then you have to look at it and say, damn, did I really lose? This is the thing that we must understand, y'all. At the end of the day, what's the name of the word again? Sometimes in life, when you suffer a loss, you really triumph in victory. Yeah. And I'm going to just say it to you this way, as we get ready to close out this word. If you suffer a loss and you're able to gain peace from that loss, in reality, you won. Because what did I tell you? You can't put a price on peace. It's priceless. It's priceless. Which means that you got the ultimate victory, baby. So listen up, fellas. Listen up, sisters. Life is about wins and losses. But sometimes in life, a loss is really a win. Because if you can gain peace from that loss that you suffered, then you really won. And that's all you need to know. Yeah, Giannis got the trophy, MVP trophy in his hand. Yeah, they won the championship. Yeah, they did. But guess what? That's not always the only way you win. You also win when you suffer a loss. Trust me, man. I know. I've been suffering L's for a while now. But in the end, when you look at the full scope of everything, I'm going to triumph to victory, man. And that's the one thing you got to remember. You could suffer 99 losses, but that 100th loss will probably give you the biggest victory of your life. Always remember that, man. When you suffer a loss, you really won, man. I hope you sincere brothers and sisters was edified by this word. And we give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, through his only begotten son, Yahushua, for allowing this word to come out, man. And hey, like I say, man, stay prayed up. Keep Yahweh, through his only begotten son, Yahushua, first in everything that you do, man. And remember, when you suffer a loss, really look at it. When you examine it, you realize you won.